talking with Rutherford County newsmakers about what matters most to you. Now, your host, Scott Walker.
This morning, we'll be talking about animals here and throughout Rutherford County, and we'll be talking with the Beesley Animal Humane Foundation. I said that all wrong, didn't I?
It's okay.
Tongue twisted and everything.
Yeah.
Our guest today is Director Don Roberts. And Don, what all is happening at Beesley?
Oh, goodness. We are just so crazy busy with all kinds of things. You know, our main program, of course, is our Beesley Animal Clinic, where we provide affordable spay and neuter surgeries and then preventative wellness for pet owners across Rutherford County, but anyone can come and use our services. Included in that, we do have financial assistance for those that need government assistance or anything like that. We do help provide financial assistance for the spay and neuter surgeries, and we do have some funds available to help with some of the preventative stuff. We do education. We provide a publication called Kind News to 4th and 5th graders throughout Rutherford and Cannon County schools. I think this year we're going to get the publication in like 3,000 kids' hands this year. So it promotes kindness and responsibility to animals and then, of course, to humans, and just how to be kind and respectful to the whole entire world. So we're excited about that. And then, of course, our outreach program.
Tell us a little bit more about the outreach that Beesley does. And you're talking volunteers as well. I mean, there's a lot that goes into Beesley.
Absolutely, yeah. The volunteers are mainly utilized in our outreach program. Actually, it was August 25th, 2016, when our outreach program started. And from what I understand, you work closely with Amanda and Katie to kind of get that off the ground. So thanks to you. And what it is, it's kind of twofold. We provide dog and cat food to those pet owners that need that help. And then I think a few years later after that, then we kind of started helping give free vaccines to senior citizens. We've got 3 senior centers that we help among the county in Rutherford and Cannon, and then as well as those that are unhoused and things like that to kind of keep their pets healthy.
I'm curious, do you guys keep up with the pounds of food that you give out each year?
Absolutely, we do. Yeah, it's interesting to see, like, I guess the first year we started, we gave out like 3,000 pounds of food.
That sounds like a ton of food right there.
Right, yeah. And then, of course, you know, it kind of grew and grew and grew. And then in 2020 and 2021, we, of course, kind of had to scale back just to all the restrictions caused by COVID. You know, the need is growing. As you know, everything is getting more expensive. People are really struggling, you know, just in life general. So last year, we distributed 7,950 pounds of food.
Wait, that was last year alone?
Yes.
Wow.
Well, so far this year, we've already distributed over 5,000 pounds of food.
That's crazy.
Right. So the need is really growing. And, you know, you just, as a pet owner, you just never know, you know, anything can happen. When we were just talking about, you know, life happens, tragedy strikes, people unfortunately lose their jobs or they get sick or something like that. So then when you have a pet, you know, people want to take care of their pets. So, and we have found that people will forego their own food to make sure their pet is fed. So, you know, this kind of helps to make sure that, you know, we work with a lot of the human food drives so that the humans are getting their food, and then we're supplementing to make sure that their dog or cat gets the food that they need to, so they both can eat and stay healthy and things like that.
Man, I can't stop thinking about the pounds of food you guys handed out. So 7,000, 8,000, 5,000.
Right.
That's just insane.
It is. And it's all based thanks to so many great supporters and, you know, people that donate. We work with a lot of organizations. United Methodist in Woodbury is every 2 weeks. We give out 80 pounds of food, cats and dogs. So we give out about close to 200 pounds of food every 2 weeks to United Methodist in Woodbury. And then, you know, if we have quarterly distributions, we just started doing that at our facility. And then if somebody just comes up to the clinic and we have the food, we'll give it to whoever needs it. But we're always short. We're always needing donations just to keep this program going. So,
you know, for anybody out there listening, and you don't even have to be an animal lover to take on the fact that when you start talking about the outreach program and helping those who have animals who may be at the very lowest of low as far as where they feel like they are in life, but they have this dog, they have this cat, and that companionship, it changes lives. I mean, if you were to take their animal away from them, it would be devastating.
You're exactly right. I mean, just think about a senior citizen. They've lost their spouse. Their dog or cat is their companion. You know, they provide mental health. I mean, it's shown that people with pets are happier, they live longer, and they have just a sense of love and companionship. Those that are unhoused, that's their only thing that they have to sometimes keep going. So, necessarily, in a sense, indirectly, you are helping the person by making sure you're giving them what they need for their pet.
And you'd be surprised how big of a difference that pet makes for them each day. Because like I said, without that dog, without that cat, they may have no one or nothing.
Absolutely. And I think that's where the executive director prior to me, Amanda Oliver, and you know her, and I'm sure everybody in this community knows her. She was very passionate, and that's kind of where the whole foundation stresses is the human-animal bond. It is life-changing. Pets are life-changing to people. They are the lifeline for so many people. So we do whatever we can to make sure that families can stay together. You'd hate for a senior citizen or somebody that needs that pet to say, I can't feed myself, let alone my dog, or I can't get the vaccinations that's needed to stay legal with the law with a rabies vaccine. So that is kind of what our mission is responsible pet ownership is doing what you need to do to keep your pet healthy and happy, but we provide a means to help those people do that.
And when you look back over those years of just helping people out, helping those out who maybe can't afford to get their dog neutered, their animal neutered, it makes a difference too, because you're making sure that you don't have just wild animals running around, and that's what it will lead to if people don't get their animals properly taken care of.
Absolutely. You can be doing, like, there are so many people that, those feral cats, community cats, they get overlooked a lot, and there's a lot of really good, caring citizens that they take it upon themselves to go and care for these cats, feed these cats, but they multiply so quickly. So even if you just have a dog and you're like, I don't want to get it spayed or neutered, something can jump in somebody's yard, and then instantly you're having a hard time caring for one dog. Now you've got 10 dogs that you have to feed and stuff. And then they end up they're a statistic in the animal shelter, or they get euthanized for space, or they get hit by a car on the street. It's just making the life better for pets all around.
Sadly, if you live out in the country, and that's not the sad part, it's great to live out in the country, but I think anybody can attest to this. If they've ever lived out in the country, wild dogs that people literally just drop off will just wander up to their house, and next thing they know, they're caring for 10 dogs.
Absolutely.
People actually do that still today. They just drop off animals they think they don't want.
Well, and I think, they don't want the responsibility, but then sometimes I think people, like this outreach, what we're trying to do, people, they don't know what to do. They think that maybe if I go and drop it off at this farm, they see other animals there, or even somewhere else, they're going to get the care they need because they no longer can do that. So, having to make that decision for a lot of these people is probably heartbreaking for them.
Yeah, when you look at it that way, definitely true, because I could see where somebody, maybe they lost a job. Next thing they know, their car quit working. One thing after another, they can't afford to continue to feed their animal.
Right. So they think maybe, okay, I have a neighbor or saw a farm down the road, they must, and then just go drop it. So, and we're just trying to prevent those decisions from having to be made in things that we can control with food and vaccinations and preventative well care to keep everybody, keep them healthy and with their owners.
Now, how can people do more to get involved? If they're hearing this on the radio and they say, I want to get involved with Beesley in some way.
Always reach out to us through our website. Our volunteers, like I said, for our community outreach, they're the ones that, will pack the dog and cat food. They'll deliver to our organizations. They will be there to distribute the dog and cat food on our distribution days. There's events that people can do. Do a food drive, either at your church or your business, because we are always in need of food. It doesn't stick on our shelves very long. And luckily, we have the best supporters that will say, hey, we're running short, and we'll get them in, and then it's packed up and out the door. It's just a constant thing for this dog and cat food. Looking back,
I remember going with Amanda to different homeless camps and whatnot, and the look on the people's faces when we came walking up first was, kind of surprised, what are you doing back here?
Right.
And then they realized we're here so that you can get your dog properly taken care of, and you can get your dog vaccinated, and there's no charge. And
right.
They couldn't believe it.
Right. Yeah. And I think we work with, a lot of organizations, Journey Home, Greenhouse. They send a lot of people, Nourish Food Bank, they send a lot of people to our clinic that need the vaccinations that we will, we'll provide, for free. And then if they need food, we'll go ahead and give them food that they have to help keep their pets fed. So yeah, you're right. Some people are afraid to ask for help, but I think it's getting more and more easy that people realize that, hey, we are here to make a difference, and we are making a difference.
Now, there is an event coming up that I know people could purchase tickets for so that they can help support Beesley. What is that event?
Yeah, it's called Barks and Bourbon. It's at Bell Meadows Farm on Thursday, September 26th. It starts at 6 o'clock, and it's our 4th annual event. And we have, I think, 10 or 11 different bourbon distilleries that are going to be there. You can do tastings of all their different products. You can chat with them, talk about the process, about all the products. We'll have finger foods. There'll be music. If you haven't been, it's a really fun, casual, at a beautiful venue. It's just a really nice night. Dogs on leashes are welcome. There's going to be cigars, and then there's a silent auction. And all proceeds benefit our programs.
And talk a little bit more about how those proceeds go to help out those who are in the community with their dog, with their cat.
Yeah. So getting donations, grants, and everything allows us to, first of all, have our vet services stay affordable. A cat spay at Beesley is $55. A dog can be, $100 to $80. So just alone, those everyday prices are affordable because of donations. But then you add on top of that, if we need somebody that, is unemployed or disabled, they don't have any income, then we can completely subsidize that surgery for them. Or we can subsidize their vaccines, or helping them get their dog on heartworm prevention, which is life-saving and does wonders for them. So, and then it provides, help if we need to buy dog or cat food. If we know there's something coming up that we need to have food for, those donations, if we don't have it in our shelves, we can go buy it. And then our newest program, I don't know if you're familiar with it, this was made in honor of Amanda. One of her last projects before she suddenly passed away was trying to find financial assistance to help get urgent medical care for their pets that we don't provide at Beesley. We work with partner veterinary clinics around Rutherford County, and so if somebody has an urgent care, like we've had some dental extractions that needed to be done to improve the animal's quality of life that this person couldn't afford. We helped get a dog treated for heartworms, so now we can lead a healthy life. So that is a fund that's available, that we try to help so that people don't have to surrender. They don't have to face economic euthanasia or just let their dog go. So that's something that, every proceed works to help the pets and the pet owners.
Again, Dawn Roberts with us today from the Beesley Animal Foundation. How often do you get phone calls from people who say, this just happened to my dog, this just happened to my cat, I don't know where to go, I don't know, who to turn to, I have no money to do anything?
Daily.
Wow.
Daily. And unfortunately, because we are not we're a specialty clinic, spay and neuter and preventative wellness only, we can only advise them to go somewhere. And, and then if it's an urgent care that we think will go within the qualifications of all of our fund, then we'll say, hey, you can go out there, go to get an estimate and apply for this fund, and we can, our committee will review and we can assist. And that's how these pets get the help, by applying. And then we do what we can within our own capabilities without our, a lot of diagnostic tools and medications and stuff. But we do get calls daily, and it's really sad. And we just kind of refer them to partners that be working with that hopefully they are getting the help they need.
A number of years back, it was probably over 20 years ago, I read an article talking about how those who have a dog, just petting that dog calms them down, and it just gives them something that normally they wouldn't have. And I don't even know how to describe that.
Right.
But there's something to be said about that companionship.
Absolutely. Yeah. I've got 5, and it's a lot of it is because I live in the country and they've just shown up. So
we were just talking about that.
Yeah. But when I have a bad day, you go home and the dog is there or the cat is there. And granted, dogs are a little bit more friendly and want to give hugs and kisses more than some cats do, but they do have a calming effect on people. That's why people, I guess, get emotional support animals or those service dogs or anything like that, because there is a way that, animals do really calm and heal people.
No matter how bad your day was, when that dog sees you, the dog's in a good mood every single time it sees you.
Absolutely. And it automatically makes everything go away. Our mission is to keep these pets with their owners and try to relieve some of the stress these owners are feeling, to be able to give them the care they need and just let them live a happy life together as a family.
And we're very fortunate to have the Beesley Animal Foundation here in Rutherford County. You know, some areas across the country, they don't have programs like this.
Right. Yeah. And I mean, Rutherford, I think this program is growing dramatically since actually next year we'll be celebrating 45 years since Beesley opened. So it's growing. Rutherford County's growing. Cannon County, they have very limited, resources there. So we do help with Cannon County a lot. But yeah, there's a lot of underserved areas in the entire country and in Tennessee that, we're just trying to help. Like I said, we're not limited by zip code. I mean, if somebody wants to drive from East Tennessee, if they need dog food, then we'll give it to them. So, we'll do what we can to help any pet.
And again, we started the program talking about dog food and how many pounds of food you've given away, but you're talking over 40,000 pounds of food for animals, dogs and cats in the last,
8 years.
8 years, okay.
Yes.
That's an incredible amount of food.
Yeah. So, I mean, it does make a difference. Every bag of dog food, we do repackage it to smaller so that every bag of dog food will help multiple pets.
Now, can somebody, let's say they want to help out in that form, specifically with the dog food, can they bring you a new thing of dog food? Do they need to pay you for dog food? What do they need to do?
Anything they want to do. They can drop by dog or cat food. We just ask that it's unopened and unexpired. Canned dog food's the same. Canned dog or cat food's the same. Make sure it's not expired. They can bring it to our facility during business hours. They can send in donation and specify that it's strictly to be used for our dog and cat food outreach, and we will use those funds to buy dog and cat food. Or we've got on our website, we've got a bunch of wish lists from like Walmart, Chewy, and Amazon. And there's links on our website, and that way you can go out there, just order it, and our address is already there and it's delivered to our location.
How often are you able to find new grants that are available out there through maybe dog food companies or cat food companies?
That's what we're struggling for. That's what we're struggling to find, is grants that will specifically cover this dog and cat food outreach program. So Katie's searching, I'm searching, and hopefully as we get more and more numbers and we can show the impact we're being made, it's going to be a little bit easier.
Were there more grants available before COVID or during COVID compared to now post-COVID?
I can't answer that because I was not in that capacity. I think overall, I would say that those grants are harder to come by because from what I see, you've got to go to like the Royal Canin or you got to go to Mars or something. And I think they have specific requirements and stuff that they have to expect and stuff like that. But, I don't know, and I'm hoping that we can just, if anybody listening has a contact with one of those food companies, just give me a shout and we'll reach out to them to see if they can help us. So we're trying to get into that kind of area. So
as our population grows here in Rutherford County, and it's definitely going to continue to grow, is the pet population, is that growing just as fast, or are there studies and statistics on, if you have this amount of population, you're going to have this amount of pet population?
I would assume that the pet population is growing. You can just look at the shelters. They're overwhelmed. Rescues are overwhelmed. People I know, like me, I've got 5 animals because there's nowhere else for them to go. You see people all the time, saying, hey, I found this dog, or I found this cat or something. Definitely cats. I think with the feral and community cats, they just reproduce so quickly that yes, pets are growing. And yeah, the more people there are, I would assume that almost every household, I would assume, has a pet. It's just until we get a way to help these people and stop the overpopulation, then I think that pet population is going to continue to grow.
Again, Don Roberts with us this morning. We're about to wrap it up, but once more, if anybody would like to get involved or if they would like to buy tickets for the upcoming event, what should they do first?
Barks and Bourbon, you can find it. There's a website, barksandbourbon.com. Tickets are available there, or you can find it on our event page on our website, which is the BeasleyAnimalFoundation.com. Like I said, on our website is how you can help. There's a volunteer application if you want to get involved that way, or there's our wish lists for our, different food providers. And then you're just, my email's on the website. Just reach out to me if you want to help, and we'll just discuss and see how you can do that.
And again, if anybody who is thinking about helping out, if they think all they're doing is helping out dogs and cats, they're wrong. They're misled, because the program goes to do so much more than just helping out a random dog or two. It helps out the individuals who live in our community.
Yeah, you said that perfectly. It really is, we're helping the people, and we're just doing it directly through their animals.
And again, Don Roberts with us this morning. And once more, if you'd like to learn more about Beesley Animal Clinic or the foundation, just go to BeasleyAnimalClinic.com or just Google search it.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you very much for joining us this morning.
Thank you, Scott, for having me.
We're talking with Mary Ellen Evans. Why did you choose Adams Place?
Mostly based on a realization that I wouldn't find anything more beautiful. The architecture is superb, elegant, and the people are caring. The residents, they consider it one family. I mean, this is just an unbelievable combination of good things.
Hi, this is Terry Deal at Adams Place. Call me for more information about Adams Place. Phone 615-904-9111. Adams Place.
We're excited to announce that Capstar Bank is now officially a division of Old National Bank. The friends you've made while banking right here over the years are still here, and so are those delicious, warm, homemade cookies. Everything you enjoyed about Capstar is still at Old National Bank
in Murfreesboro at 2230 Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard.
Come on over and enjoy warm cookies with friends while doing your banking at Old National Bank.
Old National Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.